Hey everybody, this is Jim the Tabletop Engineer, and welcome to the start of a new series. I'm going to be playing League of Dungeoneers, and in the first, I think probably 2 episodes, and I'll probably release these back to back, I'm not sure yet. In the first 2, I'm going to be creating my 4 characters. The game can be played multiplayer, but it also says it's ideal, I believe, for 4 characters. Now, I am very old school when it comes to these fantasy RPGs, and there are 8 different classes that you can, or specialties that you can choose. There's Alchemist, Barbarian, Ranger, Rogue, Thief, Warrior, Warrior Priest, and Wizard. So, being old school, the first time I play this, and I'm hoping that it will go for a while, I want to play the 4 basic classes, which would be like the fighter, the wizard, the cleric or priest, and the thief. And now what's interesting in here is there's a rogue and a thief, and as I understand it, they're similar but not really. One is it's the skills, I guess. The thief prefers to work in the shadows, whereas the rogue walks a thin line between what is legal and illegal. So I think I'm just going to go with the thief, not knowing the difference between them since I've never played this game before. We will see. So when you create a character, the very first thing you're going to do is choose the species or the race. In this case, you have choices. You have dwarf, elf, halfling, and human. I think I may have... I don't know if I'm going to do a halfling or not. I probably will. Let's sort of go the old school route, and we'll create a fighter first. Now, for the fighter, I really want a dwarf. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a dwarf fighter, a halfling thief, I'm going to do an elf wizard, and a human fighter. I think that's how I'm going to play this out. So I'm going to zoom in here. By the way, I'll try to make a link to this video on how I'm using an app called GoodNotes, which is, I've imported in the character sheets, and I use them to track my game status. So for the species here, we're going to go, we'll go dwarf. And so rolling your stats. Once you've chosen, it's time to roll your stats. Roll one at a time and write these stats down temporarily as they altered. So what you do is you come over here to the dwarf. And the dwarf has strength, con, dex, wisdom, and resolve. Took me a moment. And what you do is like for instance, for strength, it's 40 plus 1d10. So let's go ahead and roll up his. It is a 4, so his strength is 44. I don't know what the /db is. I will have to figure that out. So it's 44. And his con is 30 plus a d10, which is 40. And dex is 25 plus, well, I'm rolling great tonight. Wisdom is 25 plus 4 is 29. And resolve is 36. All right, so I rolled my, no, it says dwarfs are limited, limitations. Due to their heights, they cannot use longbows or elven bows. Okay, I'll try to remember that. So I rolled my stat. It says you may make 2 rerolls in this process, including when rolling for hit points. You may never reroll. So let me just roll everything, and maybe I'll use those 2 rerolls. Now for hit points, it says 1d6 plus 8. 4 plus 8 is 12. So he's got 12 health. And what is this one? 1H, 2H, one-handed, two-handed. Okay, got it. That is the dwarf. The stats, it says you may make 2 rerolls. You may never reroll a reroll, but you may choose the highest. So let's do that. For his strength, being that I want a fighter, let's see if I can get higher than a 6. I'm going to reroll the strength. It's a 44, so I'm keeping it. And I guess I'll reroll I rolled a 10 and a 10. Let's re-roll. Let's re-roll the wisdom. 6. 25 plus 6 is 31, so I'll take that. 31 for that. Now, again, if I'm making a mistake, let me know, but I'm just telling you, it says you may make 2 re-rolls in this process. All right. I don't want to do the options. Specialization. Each hero gains an extra 15 points that may be distributed on their stats. However, no stat may have more than 10 of these 15. So let's go ahead and give him the full 10. He's up to 54. And that leaves me with 5, and I will go ahead and raise his Constitution by 3. And that leaves me 2 more. And the 2 I will give to his Dex for a 37. Not bad. Wisdom, that's supposed to be what the wizard uses, so I'm not too, or maybe the cleric. Okay, so that's the specialization. Strength and weapons class. All right, so based on the strength, my strength is 54. I can do either a class 4 one-handed, 20, 25, 30, 40, 55. So what if it's greater? I guess if it's greater than 40, that limits me to 44. So I can do a class 54. It's going to be a class 4 weapon. All right, so I'm not sure where I write that down here. The class 4 weapon. I'll just have to remember. I'm going to write it in the center here. Class 4. I can do a two-handed class 4 or a one-handed class 4. Okay, one or two-handed. All right, that's the strength and weapon. Damage bonus. If your character has high strength or con, my strength is 54, so I get a damage bonus. That's what DB is, plus 1. Okay, there we go. And con, I have a 43. That's not high enough. Never mind. Okay. Hit points. Determine how many hit points. I already rolled that. Oh, wait. This also, how many hit points? Now it's time to, this is all modified. Now, does the con add, is that added to my hit points? Now it is time to determine hit points. This is also modified later. I don't know. It doesn't say that you should add that. Normally you would, but I don't have a high con anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Okay, that is it for the hit points. Mana, I'm not a wizard. Energy, all heroes start with 1 point of energy. The energy is right here, 1. I'm level 1, and I have 0 luck. And I don't have a name yet. I'll come up with a name. All right, that is that. And then finally, well, over here it says professions and talents. The next task is choose one of the professions which are described on page 32. Once you have found a profession, you should start to choose between the talents noted. Some of these talents may adjust the base. Okay. Skills. Okay, so the talents are, they call them talents, but they're based on your profession. It says choose one of the professions. Once you have found a profession, okay, so this guy is going to be a fighter. So his profession, and where do you list that? I don't see, but I'm sure it's on here somewhere and I'm just not seeing it. Profession, he's a fighter. Well, okay, the options are Barbarian, Ranger, Warrior. So it's going to be a warrior. So I will choose a warrior. And there are stat modifications for things. The warrior, okay, so, and, oh, by the way, the dwarf hates goblins and has night vision. Hates goblins. I mean, who hates goblins? I love goblins, but I guess this guy doesn't. And night vision. Because what's interesting is this says, once you have found a profession, you should start to choose between the talents. Some of the talents may adjust your basic stats. Okay, I got it. All right, so under the warrior, talents is disciplined. I don't know where you put that. Maybe on the next page. Talents. Nope. Arms, torso, head, shield, legs, gear. Page 173. Talents, disciplined. I'll have to, I don't want to waste your time on this, but I'll try to figure this out. I have something called Mighty Blow or Brave Heart. Perks, I have Heroic Force of Will. Where do you see that? I don't know where you add that in on the sheet. And that's okay. The purpose of this video is a learning curve for me, and it's also to show new players, how you do this. So I'm learning. Let's go back and check. Each skill, okay, so here's the skills. Each skill is calculated as the skill's base stat plus a profession specified modifier. These modifiers can be found in the profession description, which starts on page 32. So you can choose skills, and depending on your skills, there may be modifiers here, depending on a warrior. So how many, you may choose one skill. Okay, how do you, in such case, write down the new value on the character sheet. Some of these talents may adjust your basic. Where are are these talents? Dodge, barter, heal, alchemy. Those look like talents, don't they? This is interesting. Once you have found a profession, start to choose between the talents noted in the profession description. Some of these talents may adjust. In such cases, write down the new value on the... Where do you write the talent? That's the question. Weapon, special... I don't see where you would write in talents. No. Oh, duh. Talents, perks. Okay. So, do you get all of these or just... Whenever the glory is affected, okay. Oh, you get disciplined, you get Mighty Blow or Brave Heart. So let's go disciplined. And I'll have to look up Mighty Blow versus Brave Heart. Page 171, 176. 171 and 176. Sorry. 171, disciplined. Oh no, sorry, I already had that one. It was Mighty Blow. Mighty Blow says, your hero is an expert at finding weak spots. Your hero gets +1 bonus on damage roll with melee weapons. But also, I could choose Brave Heart, which is on page 176. Brave Heart is, your hero is braver than most, +10 on fear and terror tests. I don't know what those are, but I think damage sounds like the right way to go. Let's choose... Mighty Blow, and it gives me a +1 damage bonus for a melee. I'm assuming that, let's see, under a weapon maybe? No. So I'm going to put it here until someone tells me that it goes elsewhere. +2 damage bonus. Perks, Heroic Force of Will. Perks, Heroic Force of Will. And it says that's on page 168. Heroic Force of Will. The hero may add +10 to any skill or stat for a single check of any kind. Not quite sure what that means, but I see skills. Okay, so... Starting equipment, okay, I have a small backpack. It says backpack, so I'll circle it. Okay, I got that. A leather jacket, which is armor, and one weapon of choice. And then under skills, there's a bunch listed, and it tells me that I can choose. It says you may, the skill level is increased, but the basic stat rate skill. Each skill is calculated based. A skill level can never be negative. What do you do? What is skills? I see talents and perks, but where do you log skills? That's the question. Or do I get all of these? I don't know. I just don't know. Alchemy -25. Oh, wait, here we go. Here's the skills. CS for combat, range for range, dodge. Okay, got it. All right, so I'm supposed to write this in the second box if I remember right. Combat is plus 15. Ranged is minus 10. Dodge plus 5. Picklocks minus 20. Barter minus 15. Heal minus 10. Alchemy minus 25. Perception minus 5. Foraging minus 15. Now under Arcane it says not applicable. Under Battle Prayers, then it says hit points plus 2. Oh, I'm looking at the Barbarian. All right, let's start over. Plus 10, plus 5, 0, minus 20, minus 15, minus 10, minus 25. I think those are the same. Minus 10, and foraging is minus 15. And then it says plus hit points, I get plus 3. So instead of 12, I start with 15. Okay. Gear. Now, the jacket. I know I'm supposed to write that somewhere. I think I write it on torso. I'll figure it out. It is a leather jacket. Okay. And then one weapon. I don't know the weapons yet, but I will figure that out. I think the only thing left is to roll for their background, and I believe you roll a d20 for that. Yeah. So let me roll a d20. And first off is I need to get a d20. Sorry. Let's find a d20. All right. D20. I rolled a 19. 19 is weak. As a child, you were prone to catch every cold. Okay. So whenever rolling for contracting a disease, you suffer minus 10 modifier to your con. However, once you are cured of 3 of your third disease, your immune system kicks into overdrive and you get plus 10 to your con when rolling for disease. And you cure yourself on a natural con roll of 0 to 1 to 10. Interesting. Okay, so I have weak as my background. Probably not the best for a fighter, but we shall see. All right. Next, let's go and do the elf. The elf would be the wizard, right? So elf, let's roll for stats. 25 plus a d10, 28. Con is 20 plus a d10, 27. Dex is 40 plus 8, 48. Wisdom, 35 plus 4, 39. And 10 plus 30 is 40. Now this is supposed to be my wizard. Now one of the things it said you can roll for the stats and then move them around as needed. So obviously I want to put that 48 into wisdom. For hit points are 1d6 plus 6, 9, and level 1. Elves, okay, perfect hearing and night vision. Perfect hearing and night vision. All right, let's go to the wizard, which is page 39. So I'm going to do a wizard. Oh, and I get 2 rerolls, by the way. The wizard needs, I think it's wisdom. I'm pretty sure it told me that it said that wisdom was for the priest, or for the wizard. Let's look, wisdom. That's for alchemy, perception, what? Battle prayer uses RES. Okay, so that's for the cleric. What is the arcane arts uses wisdom? Okay, so I want that to be my highest. So let's go back, and what we can do is re-roll any 2 of these. So let me move the 30. Let me swap out the The strength doesn't need to be as well. The con stinks too. Let me move the wisdom needs to be my highest. I'll make that a 48. And I'll make this a 39. And I guess because you do that, that wouldn't make sense to do the rerolls because I've already rolled the highest I can. We'll just leave it alone. This is a learning thing, so we'll leave it alone. All right, so I've got the highest stat for the wizard type. Okay, wizard gets 3 spells from level 1. All right, I will go look those up in a minute. Talents, none. Perks, here we go. Perks is heroic force of will. And heroic force of will was, I can't remember which one that was. Was it the one that gave me +1, 168? Heroic force of will, the hero may add +10 to any skill or stat for a single check. I'm going to have to look that up. I don't know what that means, but we'll look it up. 1 arcane perk of choice, page 169. Ooh. Let's see, 169. Arcane perks. Dispel Master. The wizard gets +20 to their Arcanites when rolling to dispel. Energy to mana. The wizard has the ability to turn energy into mana. For each energy point, the wizard gains +20 mana. Inner Power. The wizard increases the power of their magic missiles, causing extra damage. In tune with the magic, caster may focus before trying to identify a magic item. However, when attuning, their mana is the ability to extreme focus increases the chance on at +10 without spending an increase on focus. I really want my wizard to be sort of powerful spellcaster, and it seems like either energy to mana would give me more mana to do spells, or this quick focus allows you to focus, increasing the chance to succeed. Let's do quick focus, and that is a perk. Quick focus. And I'll probably have to make some cheat sheet cards so I remember how these used. Used at the same time as casting a spell only lasts for that spell. Okay. All right, starting equipment, small backpack and a staff. Well, that's good. And a wizard may never use armor heavier than tier 2, but you can't wear armor. Okay, that's good. Let's go back to skills. Combat, -5. Ranged, -10. Dodge, -10. -20. Barter, +5. Heal, -5. Alchemy, -20. Perception, -10. And foraging, -20. And it says hit points ±0, so I stay at 9. I do remember it said something about here where you can modify one skill, right? Here we go. You may choose one skill that has a negative modifier, and you improve it by +10. Let's do... I have no idea. Heal might seem like a good thing, but probably perception, bringing it up to 0 instead of -10. Let's do that. I'm gonna take this from 10 to just 0. Okay. If you choose a profession that does spells, now's a good time to pick them. I'll pick them off camera, so you don't have to sit there and watch me do that. And let's do the background. All right. So, and again, if I've forgotten anything, if I find it before anybody posts a comment and tells me, I will, I'll fill it in. Okay. So I need to roll a d20 for background. I'm going to have them all have different backgrounds. So if I roll any duplicates, I'll re-roll. 12. 12 is the noble. Okay, the noble. Belonging to a lucky, privileged people in the kingdom, you've always gone to bed with a full stomach. Realizing a child is grown and spoiled, blah, 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 blah. Okay. You were not kicked out without means, and you have managed to retain some of your coins. You start with 400 coins instead of the normal 150. Oh, okay. Coins. Where do you record that? Probably over here. Coins, maybe? There's got to be a place on here to record coins, I would assume. Gear, coins. What did it say? 400? Nice. Instead of the 150. So everybody else gets 150. However, being accustomed to having money makes it extra hard when you have none. If you ever drop below 150, you start questioning if this is really what you want to do for a living. Your resolve is reduced by -20 until you go back above 150. That's funny. All right. Well, that is 2 characters. I've read over the rulebook as fast as possible. I may have skipped some stuff, but what I'm going to do in the next video is roll my other 2 characters. I will buy any weapons, choose any spells that I need to, so that by the 3rd video, I want to start playing the game. All right, that's all I got. This is Jim the Tabletop Engineer. Thanks for joining me as I rolled up my characters for League of Dungeoneers. Cannot wait to start playing this. I'll be back very soon with the next video. So until then, everybody, take care.
Check out the new RPG and Wargame newsletter. Each week, the Tabletop Engineer shares news, products, Kickstarters, and much more related to the gaming hobby. It's free to subscribe, so check out the link in the video description below to sign up.